Lauren LaRosa. So I've been here for a little bit. I've been here for a minute.
Move out the way.
Made it. This is the Rumor Report.
I think a lot of people will recognize the voice and the name.
Here we go. On the Breakfast Club.
Lauren came in hot.
You know,
right?
I came in telling the truth. So Tori Kelly, who earlier this week was rushed to the ICU after she was out having dinner in LA with her friends and she had passed out. It had been found that she had some blood clots, some very serious blood clots in her lungs and in her legs. So she had been placed in the ICU and we hadn't heard much about it, but her husband posted an update. He let us know that Tori is smiling again and feeling stronger, not fully out of the woods, but we see the sun. They're just waiting on a few more answers. He says all the love and the kindness has been overwhelming, and he just thanks all of her fans. That is very serious.
Very serious. Very scary.
Super. Yeah, and I think that they were also looking to make sure that nothing was like around her heart as well, too. And then little Durk, also another very serious situation. He had spent some time in a hospital in Ohio for dehydration and exhaustion. He had to cancel a few shows, including his recent Rolling Loud performance that was supposed to happen. But he took to social media to let people know that he is almost healed and he appreciates all the energy being on 1,000 for him. So keep sending them love and some prayers. It's obviously helping them get on through.
Definitely sending both those individuals healing energy, Lil Durk and Tori Kelly. I don't play when it comes to health. I don't know about y'all, but when I wake up in the morning, you know, I thank God for another day of life, but I also thank him for keeping me healthy and keeping everybody around me healthy. So, you know, salute to them.
Yeah, and not only that, and they always say, if you feel something is off, something doesn't feel right, don't be like, oh, no, it's just a stomach ache. Oh, no, it's just a little pain. If you have the means and you can go to the doctor, even if you have to go to the emergency room, just be careful because you never know what they can catch early. So I always say I'm one of those guys. If I see something, feel something, I'm running to the doctor. Like, it is what it is.
That's right.
Time to go check it out. Well, moving on, the drug dealer who was linked to Michael K. Williams' death, you guys remember he overdosed. His name is Carlos Macy, and he is a man in his 70s. He was tied to an organization that was a part of this drug deal. And on Tuesday, he was actually sentenced to 30 months in prison for his involvement. That's like 2.5 years. Now, the prosecution was originally seeking at least a 4-year sentence. His charges put him at risk for anything close to 20 years. But it's believed that his sentence was reduced because there was some leniency requested by Michael K. Williams' nephew and David Simmons, who is one of the guys on The Wire, co-creator of The Wire. Then what they basically said was there is no point in sentencing a 72-year-old man to basically the rest of his life in jail. So the leniency was granted. Now, there are some mixed reactions to this.
I don't agree with that because how old is Donald Trump? I'm just saying. Donald Trump is 70-plus years old. Nobody's going to say that about Trump. There's no need to send, a 70-something-year-old man to prison time. Like, I don't,
Yeah, if you commit the
maybe
crime.
I'm conflating two issues that have nothing to do. That's what I'm saying. You commit a crime, you commit a crime.
If you commit a crime, you commit a crime. Doesn't matter if you're 70, 80, 90 years old. Like, if you commit a crime, you gotta do the time.
But do you guys think because
how old was Bill Cosby when he got locked up? Like, he had to be in his 70s, right? Like, come on.
Yeah, but I mean, but in that situation and in the situation with Trump, there's no one saying there should be leniency in it. Actually, like, this is the family, right? This is his nephew, the guy who created The Wire. I'm sure they had a very close relationship. And that happens at sentencing where people come up and they give character witness statements, and the point is to get less time. So
but I don't think age should be a factor of leniency, because when before the young lady who falsely accused Emmett Till, died, people wanted charges brought up against her. Like, I don't think age should be a factor, in leniency.
But let me ask you a question: if that was,
you get life. If you get life at 80 years old and you die in a week, then hey, you did your lifetime.
But I was also thinking, and not to say that this was the case, but if that was his long-term, let's say, drug dealer, somebody that he went to for years, you know what I mean? He didn't make the drugs, right? He didn't produce them. He just bought them and sold them.
I was mentioning that yesterday, or a few days ago when I first saw this. I was like, I understand that because it's illegal and you're selling drugs, it's like you're going to face some time.
Right.
But what if you didn't know that the drugs were bad?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And it wasn't your intention to kill the person. Yes, you take the charges for selling the drugs, but like, do they even care about that? Or it's like,
I think when you get into those waters of doing illegal things, I don't think none of that matters. Like you can't. I mean, who that don't matter in a court of law. I didn't know the drugs wouldn't kill. You still was selling drugs.
Right.
Yeah, I just think sometimes it's a bigger problem. They chase that smaller problem. Like who's manufacturing, who's bringing them in. That's the bigger problems. But he should do time. He did the crime. But I wouldn't try to throw the book at him.
Well, he need to snitch, like all the young boys doing. You know what I mean? Give up the big fish.
Oh my God.
72 years old. Nobody gonna care that he snitched. He's 72 years old. Like you said, Envy, you got to go after the bigger fish, right? They the bigger issue. So snitch. Tell who's the plug.
All right, well, that is your rumor report. Now, Charlamagne, who you giving that donkey to?
Man, we need Dick's Fish and Chips to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with them this morning.
See how you put that pause
fish and chip spot.
I saw it.
They're a little fish and chip spot out in Canada. I don't know what you're talking about.
What's the name
There's a
of
little fish and chip spot out in Canada.
What's it called?
It's called Dick's Fish and Chips.
See?
Yes, they need to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with them.
I feel like they're back and forth with it. Do it one more time. Ask them again, Envy.
It's called Dick's Fish and Chips. Okay, what is wrong with y'all?
Over here, blush, Envy.
I'm not blushing. What do you mean?
Yeah, you lit up.
Yo, shut up, man.
He likes that spot.
Oh my
That's his
God.
favorite spot to
Witnessing
visit.
this in real life, y'all really, y'all have a love for each other.
I'm talking about a fish and chip spot.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know what is wrong with you, Lauren? Get your mind out the gutter.
I'm just telling the people what I'm seeing in real life.
All right,
it's a beautiful thing.
Donkey Today's up next. We're talking Dick's Fish and Chips. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.